Miss K here. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, Think Like a Virtuous Woman. Today I wanted to talk about an episode that I saw this past weekend on Iyanla Fix My Life. There were three sisters that was on there. They were looking for the truth about their father. Their mother had told them that their father had abused them as little children. It's actually sexual abuse. She told them that he had molested them when they were little girls. Now, the oldest girl, she actually didn't believe her mother because she had a good relationship with the father. The two younger girls, they were in the blind about if their father had molested them or not. They were the two younger sisters. And one of the things we found out during the episode was that the mother had actually always made the oldest daughter feel like she never loved her. She felt like she never belonged. And that was because the mother had actually admitted that she never wanted to have children in the first place. Listening to the older sister, I saw myself in that story with my own sister, because my sister, who's 20 years older than me, actually told me that she felt the same way about my mother. My mother had her at 15, and then she had me when she was 35 or 36. So the mother that I experienced was completely different from the mother that my sister experienced. She and my brother had been in and out of foster care because my mother, she was a teenager. She was 15 to 16 years old. So their early childhood and teenage years, they were in and out of foster homes. They were neglected by my mother because my mother chose to run the streets over taking care of her children. So when I saw this story and I heard the older sister talk about how she wished the younger sisters weren't there, and she felt like if she could get rid of them, then maybe the mother would finally see her as a daughter. And I remember my sister telling me that same thing. I remember my sister telling me that she had been the only girl for 20 years and how she saw my mother being a better mother to me than she was to her, and it made her hate me. And that was why that's why she treated me like she did. My sister abused me when I was young. I was 2 or 3 years old, and my sister would beat me. And I remember her burning my fingers on her stove. She had a gas stove, and I didn't understand why she did that to me until I was an adult. And we had that conversation, and my sister apologized, and she told me why she did what she did. Now, it's been 10 years later, and I haven't talked to my sister, which is another story. If you haven't saw my previous video, Stockholm Syndrome is Real, you can check that out after this one. But I just felt for those girls so much because I could see my sister and myself in their story, and I was just hoping and praying that the younger sisters were able to sympathize with their older sister the way I was able to sympathize with my older sister. See, I lost my mother when I was 10. And I remember being that little girl and wanting my mommy, wanting her to come back. But see, she was not coming back because she was dead. In my sister's case, she was wanting her mommy. I just picture her as this little girl. I want my mommy, I want my mommy. But in her case, her mother was alive, but she chose not to be around. So I sympathized with my sister when I found out what she had gone through with my mother. It broke my heart. I actually broke down crying when she told me. To this day, I still feel bad about what my sister and my brothers went through with my mom because I didn't experience that. By the time my mother had me, she had changed her life. She was off drugs. She wasn't drinking anymore. So I didn't experience the mother they experienced. But I was able to sympathize with what they had gone through. And so seeing that story, it was just like, it was so filling for me. I cried the entire 2 episodes because it was just so emotional, and I could relate to those that hurt and that pain. When I look at that older sister, Nicole, on that episode, I didn't see anger. I didn't see violence like other people saw. I saw a hurt little girl who was still trying to find love, who was still looking for acceptance from her mother. It was powerful. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I'm going to post a clip here at the end of this video so you can see it yourself. It is powerful, and I was just watching those clips here on YouTube after watching episodes, and me and a few other women, we kind of shared our experiences, and we kind of built a bond just in the comments under those episodes because a lot of us experienced that same situation with our sisters, and even some of the girls could relate to the oldest daughter who never had love from their mother. Now, I could relate more to the younger sister who didn't understand why my sister treated me like this, because all I know is I'm being treated bad by my sister. I feel like my sister hates me. So I'm able to look at my older sister and I see a little girl And my prayer as I was watching it was that those other two girls were able to do the same. It was just an awesome story. And I feel like Iyanla Van Zant did a wonderful job with making that older sister realize that she was hurt, that anger was a result of hurt. And it was a powerful episode. If you haven't, I implore you to please watch that episode because it was beautiful. Make sure you have some tissues on hand if you watch it though, because if you're like me and you're emotional, you're definitely going to cry. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any prayer requests, have any questions, need any advice, please feel free to email me. I'll leave my email down below in the description box. Until next time, have a great day.
Again, 2 and 3 years old. Nicole crying. She wouldn't use the bathroom. The doctor said you had yeast infection.
This is what you said. I had a yeast infection. I thought she was molested. When you thought she had blood in her panties, you rushed her off to the hospital. When were you gonna protect me?
And truly, I apologize for that, for not catching it, for missing the mark. So,
Miss Yvonne,
yes,
let me
ma'am.
help you. Do you hear what your daughter's saying?
Yes.
Why didn't you protect her? Your child is saying
didn't rush
that
her
she
off to the
didn't
hospital.
feel the right.
I did.
But that's
I
what
took
she's
her to
kind of
the
saying. If she was standing at the toilet
the
peeing
doctor.
and you felt she was being molested, why didn't you take her to the hospital like you did with blood in my panties? Take her to the hospital to check to make sure. All I'm saying is, you skipped me completely. But I made that okay in my mind because I had my grandma, I had my aunts.
I understand.
And I watched you be a very good mom to Whitney. I remember going to her playpen, her crib, and throwing
pinching her.
toys on top of her because I didn't want her to be there.
That's normal.
I didn't want
That's
her
normal
to be
civil
there.
rivalry.
Maybe if she go away,
Baby
she'll
replaced
love
her.
me too.
Right.
You didn't see me as your daughter ever.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.